Alright, welcome to the Professional Leadership Final Review. We're going to go through this final, so feel free to have a copy of it out and follow along. This one's actually going to be a fairly short and straightforward review. This final is probably a little different than most of the other ones that you will do, only because in this class I didn't necessarily give a whole bunch of diversified details and things. Really what I gave you was a unified model of leadership. And so what I'm after in this class is, can you communicate that model? Do you understand it? Do you understand what each component was supposed to embody and what each component means for leadership? So really what I'm going to be asking you to do for 90% of this final is to kind of just give back to me what you received from the model, right? So let me just do this first question and then we'll get into the rest of these. So this first one lists the three major sections of the leadership model. So if you remember, that was modeling behavior, right? So that's your internal characteristics. There was the executive decisions section, right? And then that was the section of decisions that are primarily for the top executive. And then we have the final section was defining expectations, right? So modeling behavior, executive decisions, defining expectations. And so then within that were 9 different components. So I have up here, give 3 important points in your own words for each of the 9 components of the leadership model given in class, right? So the first 4 were from the modeling behavior section. That's integrity, attitude, productivity, and spiritual. The next 3 were from the executive decisions, vision casting, executive HR, and being a figurehead, right? Then the last 2 were from the defining expectations, and that was the process video and the outcomes video. And so what I want you to do is to be able to give me 3 important points that you learned from each component of the model, right? So for integrity, give me 3 things. Attitude, give me 3 things. Now some of these you should know off the top of your head. You could fill in some of this, and then it's very easy to go back in and find these because there's one video for each component in the model, so you can go back in and look at these if there was any that you couldn't think of 3 of them that we discussed, right? So that's pretty straightforward. It's kind of up to you to go back in there and do it, but what I'm hoping is that by doing the final this way, when it's all said and done, this model will be more firmly entrenched in your mind, because on this final you're having to repeat the model in your own words, right? And so hopefully that will help solidify this in your thinking. And then the last one is describe in your own words what it means to be yourself as a leader, right? So that last video I kind of gave some thoughts about what does it mean to be yourself and why that's so important, right? Okay, so it's straightforward. It will be a lot of typing because a lot of this is your own words. There's not a lot of short answer. So I kept it to just the 11 questions because I knew you'd have a lot of typing on these medium-sized answer ones here that you've got. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.